I got a call from a Skull Valley charter officer. Get to the clubhouse right now and bring all your hardware, which meant bring your guns.
A call like that could only mean one thing: war. But this wasn't just another turf battle with a rival biker gang. This time, the target was far more dangerous: the Mexican cartel's own headquarters in Los Angeles. In a single night, a $10 billion drug empire was reduced to ashes. But what could possibly drive America's most feared bikers to declare war on the cartels? Right in their own stronghold. Welcome to the Invisible War. Los Angeles, the city of angels. A sprawling metropolis of nearly 4 million people, where dreams are made in Hollywood and broken on Skid Row, beneath the neon glow and palm-lined boulevards. Another city breathes one hidden from the public eye. A world ruled by power, greed, and violence. A world where blood buys respect and silence keeps you alive. For decades, this shadow Los Angeles was divided among crime families, street gangs, and syndicates, each carving out a piece of the city's billion-dollar underground economy. But in recent years, something changed. Something big. The Sinaloa Cartel, one of the most powerful and sophisticated drug trafficking organizations in the world, moved in and took control. They didn't come crashing in with bullets or fanfare. They came quietly. They built alliances, bought influence, and spread like smoke through every corner of the city. Drugs, money laundering, weapons, all routed through Los Angeles. Within a few short years, the cartel had turned the City of Angels into one of its most critical operational hubs in the United States. This wasn't a small-time operation. This was a deeply entrenched, multi-billion-dollar network woven directly into the city's criminal ecosystem. While everyday Angelenos sat in traffic on the 405, ordered lattes in Silver Lake, or surfed waves in Santa Monica, an invisible empire thrived right beneath their feet. No headlines, no alarms, just quiet domination. But even the cartel needed allies' boots on the ground. They found them in the Mexican Mafia, a notorious prison-based syndicate with immense power over Southern California gangs. The cartel supplied the product. The Mafia controlled the streets. Street gangs like 18th Street and MS-13 became the muscle, distributing drugs and enforcing order, all under the shadow of Sinaloa's leadership. Now, picture another faction, one that had ruled the highways and outlawed underworld of America for decades. A brotherhood built on loyalty, power, and blood. The Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. These men weren't just bikers, they were soldiers of their own empire. Their reputation was forged in violence, their loyalty earned in war. But suddenly, they found themselves watching as foreign cartels flooded their territories, forming alliances with rivals, and undermining everything they'd built. The Angels had been accused of drug trafficking since the 1960s, hunted by law enforcement for decades. But the cartels were different. They weren't street-level rivals. They were an organized army with unlimited money, political reach, and no fear of bloodshed. For the Angels, it wasn't just about drugs anymore. It was about survival. When the first shot was fired, no one saw it coming. A cartel warehouse in East LA was wiped out with military precision. No survivors, no trace. Then came the firebombings, the ambushes, the disappearances. The city's underworld was thrown into chaos. Whispers spread fast. Some said the Angels had formed a secret alliance with disillusioned cartel defectors. Others claimed rogue factions within the biker club had gone rogue, tired of playing defense. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear: Los Angeles was burning. By the time federal agents pieced together what was happening, it was too late. A full-scale shadow war had erupted across the city. Cartel stash houses were raided and torched. Biker clubhouses were shot up in retaliation. Innocent people caught in the crossfire vanished without a trace. The LAPD called it unprecedented. The D called it domestic terrorism. But the men who fought it had another name: the Invisible War. Because this wasn't a war fought in headlines or courtrooms. It was fought in alleys, in the desert, in the dead of night. No flags, no rules. Just two empires colliding in the shadows, each determined to wipe the other off the map. And as the smoke rose over Los Angeles, one question remained: who would still be standing when the sun came up? For the Hells Angels, Los Angeles wasn't just another city, it was sacred ground. A territory they had fought for, bled for, and ruled over for generations. Their presence ran deep, established chapters, trusted networks, and long-standing influence woven into the criminal fabric of Southern California. But by 2024, that dominance was under siege. The balance of power had shifted, and the Angels were no longer the undisputed kings of the streets. A massive, multi-agency law enforcement campaign that stretched from late 2022 through 2024, struck at the heart of Los Angeles' underworld. This operation didn't just target small-time gangs, it dismantled a vast network of street organizations directly connected to the Mexican cartels. By the time it was over, authorities had seized over 1,000 pounds worth of narcotics, including fentanyl, methamphetamine, cocaine, and heroin, along with 259,000 pounds in suspected drug proceeds. But those numbers barely scratched the surface of what investigators had uncovered. On November 13, 2024, a single coordinated strike exposed the true scale of the cartel's reach. 13 search warrants were executed across Los Angeles County in neighborhoods like Hawthorne, Desert Hot Springs, Inglewood, East LA, Sylmar, Woodland Hills, Compton, and Southgate. What law enforcement found behind those doors was staggering. 88,000 fentanyl pills, 48 kilograms of compressed fentanyl, 46 kilograms of cocaine, 13.7 kilograms of heroin, and nearly 283 kilograms of methamphetamine. But the drugs were only half the story. Alongside the narcotics was an arsenal fit for a small war. 21 loaded rifles, 43 loaded handguns, 2 shotguns, 3 AR-15s, silencers, and over 1,000 rounds of ammunition. This wasn't just drug trafficking, it was a militarized operation. A chilling reminder that the cartels weren't just trafficking narcotics. They were fortifying themselves for battle. What made the situation even more disturbing was where it was happening. These weren't remote warehouses hidden on the city's outskirts. These were homes in quiet suburban neighborhoods, places where families lived, where kids played, where people went to work every morning, unaware that just a few doors away, one of the world's most dangerous criminal organizations was stockpiling enough poison to kill millions and enough firepower to hold off law enforcement. So where were the Hells Angels in all of this? How did one of America's most infamous outlaw motorcycle clubs respond as their city, their legacy was swallowed by cartel influence? The answer isn't simple. It's layered, shaped by decades of uneasy truces, strategic alliances, and brutal betrayals. Historically, the Angels' relationship with Mexican cartels has been one of necessity rather than loyalty, a mix of pragmatic cooperation and violent rivalry. In some regions, especially in Canada, the Angels actually worked with the Sinaloa cartel.
All the hatred for me in that gang and from their supporters, they can take some satisfaction of that. They ran right over the top of me. All that battle damage, all those things happened, the failed prosecution, all that blood, sweat, and tears, they ran right over the top of me and kept going. I was just a speed bump.